Librarians Unite. Today we will have Tracy Mayleaf, who is going to tell us a little bit about deep tweets, advanced research techniques for Twitter. And she is from Sherpa Intelligence. Thank you very much, and Tracy, take it away.
Great, thank you, Marissa. Hi, everyone. I'm Tracy Mayleaf of Sherpa Intelligence, and I am going to show you a very quick overview of how to do a deep dive within Twitter. So you'll see my screen here. The first thing that I want to show you that I don't think a lot of people know about is that you do not have to be logged into Twitter to search it. So first, I want you to go to your main Twitter screen. You're going to see that magnifying glass. That is your friend. Get to know it, get to love it. If you're ever lost on Twitter, find your magnifying glass. Click on it. Now, since I'm putting this in, not to make any political statement, just because it's in the news and we will find a lot of tweets about it. So, and you'll see it auto-populates with an elephant there. So the Republican National Convention in Cleveland is going on right now. That's a popular hashtag. You can search, you can see I am not logged in. I left the screen up intentionally so you can see that I am not logged in. And you hit enter, and there you go. So all kinds of stuff. So, and no, I don't want to save anything. You can go away. Okay. So what I first want to show you, so this is your basic, search screen results. You'll see that you have top, you have live, you have news, photos, videos, and then more options. But spoiler alert, I will get to more options in just 1 second. First thing I want you to know about top. Top results can be good depending on what you're trying to find. What it also is going to do is skew your results. You're going to have promoted tweets, paid tweets, things that are popular in your network, things that are favorited a lot. The good thing about searching when you're not logged in is that it's not going to pick up on people you follow. So that's one thing that's going to be eliminated from this. But anytime something's really popular or promoted, it's going to show up in top, and that's going to skew your results if you're trying to do some heavy-duty research. So what I want you to always remember is to search live, okay? So live is going to give you a real feed of what is going on chronologically. News is going to filter it out for sources that are deemed news related. So this one, she's a verified person tweeting about CNN. Photos, the photos is just like it sounds. Videos is just like it sounds. Okay, got it. So if you remember one thing about this line, I want you to remember live. Live is going to give you the purest results. All right, so let's go down to more options. So what I don't think people know a lot about, and what I really want to talk about today, the advanced search features. Now, the thing with Twitter is that it doesn't make it easy to find. So you see, you actually have to search for something, go into more options, and go into advanced search. Now, there is a direct URL that you can use, and you'll see it up here. It's twitter.com/search-advanced. So you're welcome to save that to your taskbar or just remember that to go to it directly, but otherwise you can just search for something generic with your magnifying glass and then do your more options. So what I'm going to show you today is basically the typed out long form version of these commands, because this pretty form didn't always exist. Plus, I'm old school, so I'm used to searching for things in databases, like LexisNexis, using the long form. So that's how I do things, but there's also a practical reason for it, and you'll see in a second. It gives you a little bit more control when you're doing searches if you can actually understand how the results are come out in Twitter, so that you can manipulate them as you need to in order to get some better search results. And the other thing I wanted to mention about not being logged in is also just don't assume that the person you're helping has a Twitter account. It's good for researchers, to get cleaner results. But again, if you're helping someone in a public library situation, don't assume that they have a Twitter account, and you can show them how to use it, which I think is a part of the digital divide, honestly, is that I think that people don't experience the information to be found on Twitter because they think they have to have a Twitter handle. So I know I have the advanced search screen up, but because I'm teaching you things how to type it out long ways, I'm just going to go up to our friendly neighborhood magnifying glass, and I'm going to show you a to from command. So I want to see, or first of all, I want to see anytime tweets were sent to DirecTV. They are like a cable satellite TV provider. So I can tell Twitter, I want to see anytime somebody tweeted to DirecTV. Okay, so you'll see here, this is what I mean. It's the long form. Now, I wanted to see tweets that are sent from Viacom. Viacom, another entertainment company. So this is anytime that Viacom tweeted something out. Now, if you want to get some fun here, if you want to see these two accounts, if they tweeted at each other, so tweets from Viacom to DirecTV, and look at that. So, there's an article that's called Battlefield Twitter, when companies take their fights public. And these are two companies that have kind of gone back and forth on Twitter. So you can do that for any two handles, from or to, it doesn't matter which order, and you can do it with or without the @ symbol. It'll take either way. So let's do this again, but if you need a keyword. So say, for example, you want to see if anybody tweeted at Walmart if they had something that was defective, and they used the word defective in the tweet. Now, the first thing I want you to see is that Twitter's trying to be helpful, and it used the word detective, included that in the tweet. Well, thanks, Twitter. That's not exactly what I needed. I just want defective. So you see here, this is actually a hyperlink. So you want to click that, and it'll get rid of detective. So buy detective. So remember what I said, you want to make sure you're on live. And I will give you a warning. If I won't scroll down too far. There is a bloody photo or two. You will get some odd results. People will cut themselves and post them to Walmart. So scroll down further if you do it yourself to see that I'm not joking. So those are people sending tweets to Walmart to tell them that something is defective. What if you want to know if somebody sent a company sent something out? So Ford Motor Company, what if they send something out about a recall? And change it to live, and you'll notice there real quick, live you get 4 results, top you get 2. You get better results with live, so right there. So you can do this for anything if you want to see if somebody sent that out. Another quick little fun tip, if you happen to know the stock symbol, you can also use that. So I happen $, and the stock symbol is how you search on Twitter. So I happen to know, so let's just do GM and recall, General Motors, change to live, and you'll see the very first one, there's hashtag General Motors, and it knew that because I knew that the stock symbol was GM. The $, tells it that I'm searching by stock symbol. All right, now what if you're trying to find some information located, specifically somewhere in the world? Now keep in mind, when you do these long typed out searches, you need the everything's all together. So it's near colon. Now SMF, that's not a Smurf. That is an airport code for Sacramento, California. So, looks like there's a Pokemon in a wildfire there. So you can search by airport code if you know it, or you can search by the city. And you'll see you'll get different results. So keep that in mind. If you're trying to do some searching, you will get different results, the different ways that you tell it that you want results. Twitter algorithms can be a little wonky. So keep in mind when you go and do these things on your own, not only will it look different if you're on a mobile device or a tablet. I'm obviously using a desktop right here. It'll be different if you're logged in to Chrome, if you're logged into Twitter. There are a lot of variables there. So if you are not finding what you're looking for, go through a little checklist in your mind. Okay, is there something I can log out of? Would I get better results if I went on a desktop? Things like that. Should I shorten something? Should I lengthen something? So one day I heard that there was a lot of flooding going on, and I wanted to find out about flooding in Delaware. So I typed out flooding near Dover, space within 50 miles. I mean, Delaware's a small state. That actually takes up a pretty large part of the state, but I put that in there. So what came up is that there's actually results here from Dover, England, and I believe when I ran this recently, there was I think there's a Dover, Ontario. So the point is, it was just Dover, not the Dover, Delaware, that I was thinking of. So I was playing around with Twitter, and you can search by postal code. So I looked it up, easy enough to Google, main postal code, and this will narrow it down. And then I believe there is. There we go. So if you go to live, that's going to give you, and the C, I know that it's Delaware because here it says not Delaware. So now keep in mind, this within and the near is really dependent upon the user having their geotagging enabled on their account and their tweets. A lot of people, like myself, turn that off. So keep in mind that it's not foolproof, that people have to actually have it enabled. This is a fun one I like to show people. So now I'm not sure what we're going to get because it's the middle of the night there, but lorries, if in case you don't know, is a British word for trucks. BL3 is the first three digits numbers of the postal code for Bolton, England, and 10 miles. You can use kilometers too, but since they use miles, I do that. So here, look, the M25 there's two lorries. Now, this account might be in the Bolton, within 10 miles of Bolton, but it's a fun thing to do. Now, the reason why I used lorries and not traffic, if I wanted to see what the traffic was, is because a lot of times on Twitter, if you search for the word traffic, you get a lot of social media help advice about how to drive more traffic to your website and things like that. You can still search traffic, but just to keep in mind that you're going to have another layer there to sort through. So I just thought for fun I'd search for lorries near Bolton, England. This one is really practical to use if you just want to see some accounts, for example, just you're near in a city, and you'll see that people are now if all is working right, they should be listed as being Denver. See, there we go, Denver. Now let's see if this works. What I did one time for a client is the client wanted to know, here we go, so Boulder, so that's, general area here. So one time I had a client who wanted to know which bakeries in a certain city had Twitter handles, because he wanted to tweet at them, add them to a Twitter list, which I'll get to in a second. And so I did a variety of searches, but this was one of them to connect him with that information. Now we're getting into some more specific stuff here that's little harder to follow, so bear with me here. Date specific tweets. So what you can do, now remember, Twitter was started in 2006, so you have a lot of information to pull from. Now, they don't use before and after in Twitter, they use until and since. Now, this actually looks a lot easier to do on that fill-in screen that I showed you, but again, I really just want to show you it typed out because I want you to understand what you're doing here. So I want to see, now until, remember, means before. So I want to see any occurrences of the term big data that appeared up until January 1st, 2008. And again, always switch to live. And you'll see the date, so it takes it up as close to January 1st, 2008 as possible. And you'll get to see how the term big data was used before then. Now, you can do it conversely. So say I wanted to see how often the term machine learning was used and in what context, and just randomly, September 1st, 2015, every instance of the term machine learning after that date. So we'll have as recent as 20 seconds ago to do that. So it won't go back any further than September 1st, 2015. If you want to search, you can actually search between dates, and this is where you can get really fancy. You use since and until in the same search string. So I want to do since that date in 2014 until, whoops, sorry, if I could type, this would be so much better. And you'll get tweets in between those dates. Now, you might be wondering, why is this useful? Well, I can tell you from my law firm experience, it can be something about, wanting to know if somebody tweeted during a certain time, if they put something out there. It just helps narrow down things. A layperson might use it just if you remember that you saw something on a Twitter account, saw something tweeted, but you weren't really sure when. You knew that it was a certain time frame. It'll help you narrow it down. And you can even do things like, use a specific account. So you want to see everything that that particular handle tweeted up until that date. Again, there's a variety of reasons why you would use a date specific. One other thing I want to show you, which is really cool, is point of origins or source tweets. You can do source and filter. You can tell people that you can tell when people send a tweet to Twitter from somewhere else. So the other day, for example, again, sorry, if I could type, it would be a wonderful thing. It was National French Fry Day the other day. So I wanted to see who put tweets out that originally posted them to Instagram and used French fries in it. So that's how you would find that. You would tell it source Instagram, and you can do source Hootsuite, you can do source web, you can do source Facebook. How you might use this information, again, is if I were in marketing, I would see if people are going to Instagram first to post something about my company's product, more than just tweeting it outright on Twitter. That might mean that I want to spend more time, doing marketing directly on Instagram and not Twitter, that maybe more people are going to Instagram first. So that is an interesting thing. Now, I mentioned filter. Filter and source are two slightly different things. So say, for example, I want to see any Vine videos. Now this is going to be harder with French fries, but here we go. I wanted something that was going to be safe for everyone to look at. So that seems pretty innocuous. You can specifically tell Twitter that you want to see Vine videos. Let's go back to that RNC in CLE and filter it that you want to see any Periscope. And sure enough, there are some people doing Periscope from there. So again, if you're trying to follow live news, this is a great way to really, get right to videos, right to photos. If the Twitter help, if you go to @support or just dive into Twitter and look at their help pages, they have all kinds of information listed. The last thing that I want to cover real quick is foreign languages. If you are working in a public library environment and your users are maybe not fluent in English, or they are solely conversant in another language, Twitter has a page for 40 plus languages, so there's bound to be a language that they know. So I want to show you how you can search in another language. So I like to use this example personally. So I want to see Bradley Cooper, and I want results in language French. So in order to tell it to search another language, you do LANG : and the 2-letter abbreviation for that language. Now, if you're not sure what it is, I have this other tab up here. Twitter has, it says 34 languages, but I know that I've seen elsewhere they've said that they support 40, but these will give you, this page here will give you the 2-letter abbreviation. So Spanish is ES, French is FR, German is DE, for example, for Deutsch. So keep in mind if you're trying to find that, and there's Hungarian, there's all kinds of good stuff here. So that is one way you can do that. So what you're going to do is you're going to see results here in French. Now, if you're trying to do some hardcore research, you might want to actually go into Twitter, the native Twitter website for that language. So we were in the English language native, oops, and I apologize because I always get this wrong. It's !lang. There we go. Sorry about that. I always type that wrong. So if you do twitter.com/?lang and then whatever language, you're going to get to the native website for that language. So why is that important? How is that different from the other one? Well, you see that when I went to the other one, the control buttons were all still in English. This one, Connexion, Nouveau sur Twitter, inscrivez-vous, create your no account. Everything is going to be in that person's language. So again, if you're dealing with a patron who does not speak English and you need to, you want to show them Twitter in their language, you can do that. So kind of going over time here, that's really what I wanted to cover in this amount of time. Maybe I could do a part two and get into some other stuff. There is a lot to do on Twitter, and see, it still wants us to be now. See that now. Look at this. It still keeps us in the French version. So let's go back. Remember, it was question mark LENG, and we want EN for English. So ta-da! There we go. We've gone full circle. And you know what? I never logged in. I was going to log in at some point, but you know what? I never did. I'm also known as InfoSec Sherpa. I am also a Library Sherpa. But I think that's it for now. That's a lot of information, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you found that useful. Marissa, I'll throw it back to you.
Thank you, Tracy. All right, and that wraps up another one of our coffee break webinars. Stay tuned bi-weekly for one of our live webinars off of YouTube. Thank you very much and have a lovely day.